The Las Vegas Raiders start their season just like any other team, going into training camp, playing some preseason games, and going into the regular season week 1. But one thing that separates the Raiders is the fact they go out and get the best of the best this offseason. They get the best possible head coach candidate in head coach Josh McDaniels. They get the best receiver possible in Davante Adams in a blockbuster trade to reunite him with his college quarterback. Also, Chandler Jones comes over from Arizona as one of the bigger free agents on the edge to pair up with Max Crosby, so they could definitely wreak havoc in this AFC West to where the competition is very stifling. Now, one thing we don't talk about is the depth on this Raiders football team. One guy in specific is Tyron Johnson, who may be a secret weapon or an X factor, you could say, on this Las Vegas Raiders team. We know about the Darren Wallers, Davante Adams, and Hunter Renfrows, but is there any speed like Tyron Johnson that could be a deep threat on this roster? And I think he could ultimately be that piece that they need to open up the field even more on top of the weapons they already have. So in this deep dive, we're going to take a look at Tyron Johnson, undrafted free agent, going to the Chargers, ultimately jumping around in 2020. On practice squads, now trying to find his way to a 53-man roster on this Raiders team and lighten up the preseason. So let's go ahead and hop into it. If you guys can, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Let's get laced up with a game in today's Sunday Threads. Basically, look at Tyron Johnson's route tree from a shallow route to going to the deep routes. And the reason I wanted to do this is so we can get a fair understanding of how he runs the route tree, basically from what we got from this preseason. Now we're going to run this play back. You can see he's at the bottom of the screen, guys. Check him out up against this DB on the shallow route. He's able to kill him and gain extreme separation, man. I mean, the corner wasn't even in the realm of covering Tyron Johnson in this case. Corner should have stepped up a little bit closer and put a jam on him. You'll see he gets that jab step there, and that forces the DB to take a step backwards, and that's how he gains the separation. Watch the DB, once I hit play, take a step backwards. He takes a step to that back foot, and Tyron Johnson's already running inside. Now, this is ridiculous right here and how he's able to break this corner off and get that first down, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into the next play because that was just a shallow route. He was showing off some speed there, but he was able to get some separation. Here, when I hit pause, go ahead and take a look at the top of your screen. That's where he's lined up over that cornerback. And again, extreme separation. He breaks to the inside. And I believe the corner trips, but even though he gains that separation and opens up the middle of the field and he's wide open. Now the ball is a little low, but I believe Tyron Johnson has to come up with this catch. The quarterback is trying to save him from taking a big hit, and you'll see as he comes across the field on this angle, from this end zone angle, that Jared Stidham, the backup quarterback for the Raiders, tries to laser one in there to save his receiver, and I believe it should have been a catch. He could have got under that. We've seen it happen a lot, and this time it was a drop. So Tyron Johnson, I would like to see more from him throughout consistency when it comes to the catching the football, but one thing I would like to note is that so far in his career, in his young career, he has yet to drop a football or yet to record a drop statistic throughout his career. So that's an interesting stat there. Maybe he just hasn't had enough burn, but then again, maybe he's just that good. Let's go ahead and take a look at this play. We're going to run it back, and he's lined up across rookie cornerback, highly touted coming out of the draft, Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson. He's able to get on him in this case and come back to the ball, and I love the fact that he comes back to the ball. Go ahead and check this play out one more time, guys, because this is what receivers have to do if you really want to be that money maker. Check out at the top of the route. He stops at the top of the route around the 33-yard line. Watch how he comes back to the football nearly 5-6 yards to come back to the football to help his quarterback out and catch that ball. It ultimately was a penalty on Andrew Booth Jr. As you see, the flag comes out and the referee running on, and they ended up around the 20-yard line. So Tyron Johnson's showing off a fundamentally sound route tree. Now here we are again at the bottom of your screen, and this is the last play I wanted to show because I believe this again goes with him needing to be consistent with hands. Now, his release is wonderful, and his route tree so far has looked sound. Let's go ahead and take a look at this deep route and see what he has. Squares up with the DB. Let's slow this thing down right here. Squares up right there. That is that shimmy. You see every receiver do it, and he gets the inside release. And the corner actually gives up the outside ultimately because he stacks the corner right here. You can see that's where he stacks the corner, where he tries to leverage his body because he's a bigger receiver. Let's give him that because he's 6 foot 200 pounds, and he did record a time in the 4.3s. So this guy's nothing to joke with. He stacks the corner easily. Now he's wide open. Mullins drops a dime in there for him to catch it, but he doesn't come down with the football. What's surprising to me is that when you watch most of his film, when you watch most of his highlights, you should actually say, because he hasn't got much burn throughout his young career, is that he usually comes down with these big time catches. So it was to my surprise that he ultimately didn't catch this one. We'll watch it from the end zone angle, and you can see here, that is a money ball. That should have been a catch, and you see it hits him right in the hands, bounces up one time. He has a second opportunity, but at that point, concentration is lost, and he ends up giving up. But think about this, guys. I want you guys to think about this, whether you're a Raiders fan or not. This Raiders team is lethal when you have a guy of this caliber trying to make the roster, trying to be 4th or 5th on the depth chart behind guys like Waller already, guys like Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and so on. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Until next time, lace up the game.